Nothing like starting a show with Dan Dedmonton. I'm sorry, Joe. Edmonton did not pull off the win for you. You guys, it's time for Puck It Up with Joe. It is Saturday, February 25th. I hope, Joe, you listened, though, and took Corpustello over. It was 30.5 save shots on goal or 31.5 save shots on goal. Whatever it was, he easily came in over that number. Corpustello, I tell you, he is playing for a contract. Had a phenomenal second and third period versus the Edmonton Oilers. Nice cash there. We just got Chris Kreider a couple minutes ago for the New York Rangers for that anytime goal. We're definitely making some money so far on the ice. I hope you hit the earlier Puck It with Joe. So, Anthony, I'm ready to. We got 8 more games to go over. The Capitals were not able to win in the first period. That was plus 220. It looks like they're going to win the game. So if you took this team to win with that plus money, you had more faith than I did. I thought first period win for sure. The Washington Capitals are now up 6-3 over the New York Rangers. We saw Dedmonton. Love calling them Dedmonton, Joe. 5 goals for them. They came back. We saw Columbus just come out so strong, but they weren't able to do enough. We saw the Columbus Blue Jackets get a 6-5 win over the Edmonton Oilers. And the other game, starting right away, we have the Pittsburgh Penguins and the St. Louis Blues. Now, that one is kicking off. So if you're wanting to get your bets in on that one, I gave this out earlier. This is a tricky one. I'm going to take the St. Louis Blues team total over that 2.5 at minus 145, minus 146-ish there. Capitals have won that game 6-3, guys. I do think we're going to see Casey DeSmith allow these goals to come in for the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Penguins are needing this win so bad to get back in to some sort of wild card spot here, but this is going to be a really hard one. Both of these teams needing the wins. So St. Louis has sold off their best players, but I do think we can trust them to get 2 goals in this situation on home ice, 3 goals. They have to get over that 2.5. The Pittsburgh Penguins have just been allowing too many to come in. They've allowed 7-4, 5, and 5-5 in their last 4 games, allowing 21 goals and 5.25 goals on average. I do think this one goes over the total. So that's just quick. Get that one in. That game is kicking off on the ice right away here. Yeah, Oilers defense absolutely has been terrible. They've been also bad goaltending. We have that goaltender change come in that one as well. You're dying to hear what my play is on the Bruins. Oh, okay, we'll get to that. Let's jump right into these. I'm seeing all of you guys come in. So happy to see you guys all in at our normal time here. I just thought better to roll with the normal time. So let's jump to this one. The Boston Bruins versus the Vancouver Canucks. Now, the Canucks are the Canucks. They are not a strong team. Delia expected in goal for them. He has a 3.51 goals against average, and we have Allmark expected here for the Boston Bruins. Now, looking at this matchup, Boston Bruins have won their last 5 games. They had that tight game versus the Seattle Kraken, and oh my God, was that game stressful. It looked like at one point the Seattle Kraken were going to be able to beat the Boston Bruins for the second time in a row, because we remember the first time they got that shutout on Boston's own ice. But Boston and Seattle, they went at it so freaking hard. It was a game that I expected to go under that total, went flying over the total. Boston got the win 6-5. It was an incredible game. If you didn't watch it, go back and watch highlights, because it was so much talent on the ice on both sides. Now, when we look at Boston's schedule ahead of them, they're coming in here as a huge favorite, by the way. Minus 275 over the Vancouver Canucks. And looking at talent level, they absolutely deserve to be such a favorite. They have the Oilers on deck on Monday, so it's Saturday, and then they have Calgary. So they have the Alberta double-double on Tuesday. They're sitting first in the Atlantic. They're facing the Vancouver Canucks, who are 6th in the Pacific. Calgary, not really. Look ahead, probably Edmonton, a little bit of a look-ahead spot. What concerns me about the Boston Bruins here is how they played in Vancouver. They've lost their last 4 games in Vancouver, but I do think they should be able to win this game. There's no way I can put money on the Vancouver Canucks. I'm just a little cautious with the Boston Bruins because of how they have played in Vancouver. The way better team here. There's no way I could put any money on Vancouver. The home team has gone 5-0 between these two. I'm going to look at David Pastrnak here of the Boston Bruins. We know he's been leading this team with his points, and I do think he goes over 1.5 points today against a bad defense of the Vancouver Canucks. The defense is giving up 3.98 goals per game and 31.1 shots on goal. So David Pastrnak should come out and have a really solid game. And I love the over 1.5 in this game for his points is coming in at plus money at plus 148. That's where I'm going to go with this one. He has 79 points, 42 goals on the season. So he is definitely leading the Boston Bruins. That's where I have to go with this. And I do think with the struggles out of the Vancouver Canucks, you got to look at this over 6.5. Like we saw with Boston against Seattle. They put up 6 goals on Seattle. The Seattle Kraken, they hold opponents to around, I think it's 27.7 off the top of my head, shots on goal per game. Vancouver allows 31.1. Boston was able to get those goals. They were able to find the back of the net. Delia expected here for the Vancouver Canucks. I think this is Boston all day. If you're braver than me, you can take the Boston Bruins here on the puck line. They're 19-9 on the road on that puck line. I don't think it's a bad bet. My only concern is the schedule ahead of them, facing a bad team that they've struggled in Vancouver. So my money won't go there. My money is just going on David Pastrnak here. I think at plus 148, it's the way to go. I also think the over 6.5, if you want to bet a total, is the other way to go. So that is where I'm going, you guys. It's going to be one heck of a game there. Now look at the next game, Anaheim versus the Carolina Hurricanes. I'm just going to look at your comments coming in. Patrick Kane, man, he's going to go somewhere, you guys. It's going to be really interesting to see where he lands. Lots of teams wanting him. I've even heard the Edmonton Oilers. Really hope Patrick Kane does not go to the Edmonton Oilers because I don't want to dislike him. So Bruins over. I do agree. You look at Bruins team total over. They're going to get these goals today. I think their team total is 4.5, though. That's why I kind of stayed off their team total, Anthony. Yes, they could absolutely come out and, in that first period, get 3, get 2 more in the second, and just keep going against this Vancouver Canucks. Terrible defense. So I do think the play is Boston today. I'm just a little hesitant with how they played in Vancouver. Good afternoon. Okay. Tristan Jarry is confirmed now for the Pittsburgh Penguins. That is a good thing. Tristan Jarry is in for the Penguins. So that does change things a little bit here. With Jarry in, I still do expect St. Louis to get over 2.5 goals. It's going to be just a lot harder than if it was Casey DeSmith. So we're going to have more of a battle in that one. I do think the Pittsburgh Penguins still have been allowing too many goals. Jarry's had some games that have not been as phenomenal. He definitely needs a stand on his head game. Not sure if it comes in this one today. So let's move on, you guys, to the Anaheim Ducks taking on the Carolina Hurricanes. Are you guys ready for football to come back or what? Who is counting down the days with me? That's for sure. I totally am. Let's go. Yeah, I'm just a little worried, James, about the puck line with the Boston Bruins. I absolutely think that they should dominate this game. My only question is how they played in Vancouver. It gives me a little bit of a worry with the Alberta double-double ahead of them. Edmonton is a tricky team. We know Edmonton can come out and really push teams, especially on their home ice. So I am a little concerned with Boston on the puck line. I think David Pastrnak is the best way to go. Team total 4 minus 180 in a parlay. Yeah, and I don't mind that team total at 4. We will see the Boston Bruins get these goals on a sloppy Vancouver team. Patrick Kane going to end up as a Ranger. God, that would be great. I actually really love what we've seen out of the Rangers. So thank you so much. No worries on being late. We're just jumping into this. Let's get to the next one here, and then I'll get back to your guys' questions and comments. The Anaheim Ducks taking on the Carolina Hurricanes. This is 7 o'clock Eastern one. We've got a total of 6.5. We got the Anaheim Ducks coming in as large underdogs at plus 390. The Carolina Hurricanes at minus 530 here, total of 6.5. When you look at this If you want to take the Canes, you got to lay 2.5 goals here. They're 12-17 at home on that puck line, and we've had a lot of 1.5s in there. The Ducks sitting 16-17 on that road on the puck line. Do I trust the Ducks to grab them plus 2.5? I lean on it because I really do think this is a game where we see Carolina win by 2. I don't see them winning by 3. I think what we're going to see is their defense really lock down the Anaheim Ducks. The Ducks struggle to score, but I don't see the Canes really pushing this one where they just want to get goal after goal after goal. We see this defense. They are so phenomenal at getting these, not allowing the shots on goal, if I can talk today, at 26.6, first overall in the league. And we see them only allowing that 2.56 goals per game. The Anaheim Ducks, on the other hand, they're absolutely terrible defensively. They're allowing 39.6 shots on goal, 32nd overall, which means worst in the league. And they're allowing that 4.51. So could the Canes absolutely come out and take this one over the total all by themselves? Absolutely, they could. And if that is the case, they cover this puck line because we're not going to see the Ducks score many goals in this one, but they are on the back-to-back. I expect kind of not a slower game out of them, but I expect more of a defensive one. We got Frederick Anderson coming out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take those odds that we see for the full game. Minus 530 here for the full game. On that puck line, you got to lay 2.5. I'm going to look at the Canes in the first period. Looking at the Canes in the first period, on that puck line, we're only laying half a goal on the puck line, and it brings our odds all the way down to minus 128. So I think that is definitely the way to go in this one. Look for the Canes to come out, dominate the Ducks in that first period. Yeah, I'm seeing over 4.5 for the team total for the Canes is at plus 110. So if you think they can come out and get 5 goals, and they absolutely could on the Ducks, but I just don't know if they're going to play more of a defensive game. And that's what I expect. I don't expect the Ducks to go over their team total. Well, they could. If you think the Ducks get 3 goals here, I don't see it happening. It is at plus 146. I lean on this one. To stay off the total. That is my lean. Not touching the total here. I do think this is one where we're just going to see the Canes either rack up all the goals themselves to that over, or they're going to play a defensive game, win this 3-0, and just call it a day. So that's where I'm going with that one. They've got Vegas on deck on Wednesday. They don't have a huge schedule ahead of them. They did get that Sens win last night 4-0. So they are on the back-to-back here. They've won their last 5 games. We see the Ducks rolling in here off a win over the Capitals. Now the Capitals were without Ovechkin. This is their last game on the road. They've gone 1-2 on this road trip. So I think they fall down again in this one. The next game on the board, actually, let me look at your comments here. The Wings, yeah, the Red Wings. I do think the Red Wings have a good day. We're going to get to that game in just a minute. First, we're going to hit off with the Ottawa Senators taking on the Montreal Canadiens. Now, Sogard expected here for the Ottawa Senators. Just want to see what line we're getting now on this one because my book wasn't giving me a line earlier. Minus 172 here for the Senators, plus 142 for the Montreal Canadiens if you have faith in them. If you want to take the Sens, my advice would be taking them laying the 1.5 on the puck line at minus 1.5 at plus 134. I do think the Senators can get the nice big win in this matchup. When we look at them on that back-to-back, they have done really strong on the second leg of the back-to-back, and they've been able to cover those puck lines. Now, I know that they are the favorite coming in, so we're asking them to win this by 2 goals, but I think they can. They're sitting 7th in the Atlantic. The Montreal Canadiens sitting 8th in the Atlantic. Now, Montreal is also on a back-to-back. So we have 2 teams on a back-to-back. We look at the Senators. They are headed home after this game, and they have 2 games versus the Red Wings at home, and both of those games at home versus the Red Wings. When we look at Montreal, they won their last 2 games. They got the win over the Philadelphia Flyers last night on the road. They won that big. It was a 5-2 win for the Montreal Canadiens. So they were in Philly last night. They had to travel home. And I know the Senators were on the road last night too, but I think it's harder for that team returning home. And we've seen this in a lot of these cases with these teams, with both of them traveling, with the one team that is headed home on that travel. having a worse time of things, you guys. So give me the Senators big in this one. You can take them in regulation if you're a little bit worried about that puck line, but I am going to lay the 1.5 for parlay reasons. I would totally take them on that puck line. And Sogard over 25.5 saved shots. I do like it because we do see the Ottawa Senators giving up the shots on goal there, allowing an average of 32.3 shots on goal. When we look at the Montreal Canadiens, they're not averaging a lot of shots. They have been limited to 27.8, but I do think we see more shots coming out of Montreal in this one. I do think he can save over that number. Sogard over 25.5. I love that, Anthony. I think he has a good day, and this is a great matchup for him versus the Montreal Canadiens. Sam Montague, I kind of have I don't know. I like Sam Montague. I like what we've seen out of him. I like him at home. Under 29.5 save shots on goal. So that one is going to be really close to the number because when we look at the Ottawa Senators, they are putting up 33.3. Montreal is allowing the 33.3, but I do think the Senators explode offensively in this one. I'm kind of cautious of that number. I like Sogard's number to the over better than I like Sam Montague's to the under. I think we probably see both of these goalies going over their save shots on goal today. But that being said, I still think that this is a game where the Senators end up on top. I lean to the under 6.5 in this one as well. I don't see this one being a total huge high-scoring game. So I lean on the under. I lean on the Sens in the puck line. I think this is kind of like a 3-1 style game in this one. So I'm looking for just a lazy game. I don't know who is messaging me. Sorry about that, you guys. Okay, let's get to the next game. I'm going to look at your comments just quick here as well. You guys, how is your Sunday going or Saturday going, by the way? Hey, Joe in Chicago. Sends hate habs. Ottawa, yeah. It's going to be a good one. Where are you going? In Chicago? Ottawa. Okay. All the best, Joe in Chicago in that one. Let's get to the next game here. Got the Philadelphia Flyers taking on the New Jersey Devils. Now, plus 240 here for the Philadelphia Flyers. We got the New Jersey Devils coming in at minus 310 here, total of 6. Now, this is a battle of the Metro. The Philadelphia Flyers sitting 7th and the New Jersey Devils sitting 2nd in the Metro. There is no question mark here. Who is the better team? We know it is the New Jersey Devils. Jack Hughes has been making us money left, right, and center this season. My concern in this matchup is looking at the goalies in net for both of these teams. Ersson is expected in goal for the Philadelphia Flyers. He's actually got them every single game he's played. They've got the win. He's gone 6-0-0 on the season. Now he's got a 2.56 goals against average, and we've got Schmid coming out here for the New Jersey Devils. He's 5-4 in the 9 games he's played with a 2.24 goals against average. So he has been strong, but he has gone 5-4. We have the New Jersey Devils here. They won their last game on Thursday in OT versus the LA Kings. Man, that was a tight game. They got the 4-3 win over the LA Kings. Now, when we look at the Philadelphia Flyers, they lost their last 2. They lost and they played last night versus Montreal. That was a 5-2 loss for them. They did beat the New Jersey Devils back in December. It was a 2-1 win in that game. So we had a low scoring game. New Jersey's coming off of overtime. That normally always works in their advantage at home. They have been able to get those wins coming off of overtime. The Philadelphia Flyers have just been so absolutely killer on the puck line this season, especially on the road, that it's really hard not to grab them plus the 1.5 here. They're 21-10 on that puck line on the road. And I just want to have a look at what we're getting them right now. Plus 1.5 is minus 102. I know the New Jersey Devils are the stronger team, but I do think this is a lower scoring one. I really like what I've seen out of Ersson. I don't know how much I trust Schmid here coming out for the New Jersey Devils. This could be possibly the upset of the day. Am I brave enough here? No, I'm not brave enough, you guys. At plus 240, I'm not brave enough. If I was getting, plus 350, I might sprinkle on the Philadelphia Flyers. I'm not getting enough value. They did win the last matchup New Jersey should come out and just play such a strong game. I think we have an under. I think we can count on the Flyers plus 1.5. Fingers crossed. Okay, Hughes, anytime goal. We always take Hughes for that anytime goal. The Devils are rested for sure. This is going to be a really good one. Okay, Anthony, you can't use FanDuel in California, so you're using those. Gotcha. I always try to give you guys the FanDuel odds because they seem to be right around where everyone's odds are. So I try to give that to you. So when I am giving you out odds, expect it to be pretty close to what you can see everywhere else. The next game on the board, the Tampa Bay Lightning taking on the Detroit Red Wings. Now, Tampa coming in here as a favorite at minus 178. Andrei Vasilevskiy expected. He's got a 2.6 goals against average, and Husso expected here for the Red Wings. He's got a 2.85. I'd be shocked if we didn't see this goalie matchup. I think this is going to be a phenomenal game. Now, Detroit has defeated the Tampa Bay Lightning 3 straight. You're at 3 straight games. 2 of them have been this season. The last one they won. They had so many goals, 7-4 win for the Detroit Red Wings. That was back in December, if memory serves me right. It was an amazing game for all the Red Wings fans. Now, we have the Tampa Bay Lightning off a loss, though, which is so hard to bet against them. They lost in OT to the Buffalo Sabres. You would have expected in OT for the Lightning to get the win. No, the Sabres were able to pull it off. This is the first game of a back-to-back for the Tampa Bay Lightning too. So they play today, and then tomorrow they have the Penguins on deck. Are they stressing the Penguins? Nah, I don't think so. But I do think with how we've seen the Red Wings playing, they won their last 2 games. They got that win over the Rangers on Thursday. It was a 4-1 win. The Senators on deck. On the road, they play them Monday and Tuesday, those back-to-backs with the Senators. I think this is one where we can count on Detroit's team total. Not going to take them for the win. I'm not freaking crazy against the Lightning off of a loss, but I do think this is one where we see the Red Wings get those goals on Vasilevskiy. Their team total over 2.5 is coming in at minus 118, and I think it's the best way to go. They are 7-1 in their last 8 overall, so if you have faith in this Red Wings team, I don't hate a sprinkle on that money line, but I do think you're safer at minus 118, taking their team total over 2.5. I do expect this one to go over that total of 6.5. They've gone 8-3 in their last 11 to that over in Detroit. And we've also seen both teams just playing so well on the offensive side of the puck. Oh, you guys, I'm going to be sweating this one. They absolutely are dangerous. So, Drake, thanks for showing the love, sprinkling the Red Wings on the money line. I love it. I might get there, you guys. I'm not sure. Kind of like playing this one a little cautious. I'm like, I'll take the over 2.5 and call it a day. But I do think that could be another one. You got to love a home dog as well. If the Lightning had won versus the Sabres, I would feel so much more confident in Detroit today. Let's jump to another one that I am going to be stressing. 10 o'clock Eastern, you guys, you know I'm going to be glued to my couch, or actually I will be sitting on my bed with a glass of wine. I got a TV in my room watching this one. By 8 o'clock, I am exhausted. I know, big social life, and I work tomorrow. So we look at this. Dallas coming in at plus 100 over the Vegas Golden Knights. Vegas coming in here at minus 120. Vegas remembers what the Dallas Stars did to them in the last game. The last time Dallas rolled into Vegas, I think it was that Father's trip, they absolutely destroyed Vegas. They got the shutout win 4-0 in Vegas. So Vegas is not going to forget this. They're welcoming in a Dallas team that has lost their last 5 games. This is also a one-off road trip here for the Dallas Stars. Give me the Vegas Golden Knights. Now, I know Vegas has had, injury issues, and they've been all over the place, but they did get that win over the Flames on Thursday. I swear, I have to say it sarcastically when I say anyone got a win over the Flames, because we know how much the Flames have been struggling. Vegas doesn't really have a look ahead. They have the Avs on deck on Monday, but that's not a big thing for me because we've got one day in between. So I'm not worried. We've got Vegas sitting first in the Pacific. We have the Dallas Stars sitting first in the Central. This is going to be the most intense game, I swear, of the night. The Stars have played Vegas so strong. They have dominated this matchup. They've gone 5-2 in the last 7 meetings. But Vegas on home ice in a revenge spot after being completely embarrassed back in January, I've got to take Vegas to get the win at -120. Vegas has won their last 5 games at home. They're 6-1 in their last 7 overall, and they're 5-1 in their last 6 versus the Western Conference. We look at the Stars. They're 0-5 in their last 5 games, playing on 2 days rest. They're also 1-6 in their last 7 versus teams with winning records, which is Vegas. So I love the Dallas Stars. Don't get me wrong. Jake Ottinger in goal, Aiden Hill. So we don't have Logan Thompson, which I hate, but Jake Ottinger versus Aiden Hill. Limited penalty minutes for Vegas, and they will have to make sure they do this because if they give Dallas a power play advantage in this game, they're done. They're absolutely done. So this one's going to be completely intense. I'm going to try not to spill red wine as I jump up and down cheering for Vegas tonight. Vegas money line, Dallas offense is not hot right now. Absolutely. Yeah, I can see this one absolutely going to overtime. If it does go to overtime, you're going to have, I'm going to have to live bet it then. It might be a hard one. If it goes to overtime, I can see Vegas struggling a little bit. Sorry, guys, you can hear my dog whining. I'm just going to pick her up because she is whining at my knees, and hopefully she just sits down and is quiet. There we go. She's sat down. Yeah, it should be a good case for Vegas here. Okay, so I'm going to stress that game. I'm going to be stressing the Red Wings if I end up sprinkling on that money line. I probably will get there. I'm also going to be cursing my Calgary Flames. Now, this one is at the same time as the Dallas Stars and the Vegas Golden Knights. So I will have one on my laptop and one on my TV. Calgary probably on the laptop, at least after the first period. I'm looking at Calgary versus the Colorado Avalanche tonight. Now, the Avs are coming in at -120 with Georgiev expected in goal. Calgary expected to start Jacob Markstrom here. He's got a 2.93 goals against average. Now, Calgary just lost to Vegas in OT in a game that they went up and down in that game. Now, Calgary is so frustrating, guys. Daryl Sutter, I have to take a breath because it's almost like I just want to totally bash my team. It's hard as a fan to watch. It's hard as a bettor to watch the Calgary Flames, especially when you know what this team should be capable of. On paper, Calgary is such a better team than we've seen. We haven't seen the production. I think this comes straight from coaching. I think Daryl Sutter, old school coach. I think we need a fresh new coach in Calgary. And I'm sorry, Daryl Sutter. And like I said on the earlier show, I feel like when I go against Daryl Sutter, he can hear me, even in Colorado today, and is wishing me ill. I couldn't imagine if one of those death glares from him came in my direction. So kind of like Medusa out there on the ice. He is freezing the players of Calgary. We look at Calgary, they're +100 coming into this matchup. Now, Colorado is on the back-to-back. They had to play last night. They got the win over the Winnipeg Jets. I was on the Winnipeg Jets. I really did think we would see more out of Connor Hellebuck and the Winnipeg Jets defense. Well, no, Colorado opened up. They got 5 goals in that game, and they held the Winnipeg Jets to 1. With that late game last night, now they're back home playing a late game in this one tonight. I do expect Calgary to come out strong, but I'm not expecting them to win this game. I'm expecting Calgary to win the first period. That is all I'm asking of my team. This team is going up in games, and they are letting these games absolutely go. I think Calgary in the first period, we are getting over on FanDuel at +194 in the first period. Absolutely, I want that. I think Calgary can get that 1 goal past Georgia in the first period, and then I don't care. I can tune out. I can kind of like try to enjoy it as a fan if Calgary goes up, but my money will not be wrapped into this game after that first period because I tell you, mentally, I cannot take my money wrapped up in a Calgary Flames game for the full one unless I'm betting against this team. So Calgary in the first period is where I'm going to go with this one. We have seen strong trends. So if you think Calgary can get things done against Colorado, the road team is 5-2 in the last 7 meetings, but the Flames 3-9 in the last 12 meetings versus Colorado, the underdog 9-3 in the last 12 meetings, and the Flames in a 3-4 day situation are, you ready? Waiting for 1-7. She can go out. My daughter just let out the puppy. She was crying for my daughter. That's what was happening there. But I do think this one probably squeaks over that total of 6 if Calgary can do enough in this game. I am leaning to the over 6 in this one. Like I said, my money will not be there. My money will just be on Calgary in that first period because I don't want to stress after the first period. Let me know what you guys are thinking about Calgary in the first period if they can get it done. The next game and the last game on the board, you guys, we have the Chicago Blackhawks taking on the San Jose Sharks. I almost wanted to call them the Dallas Sharks. I don't know why. Dallas is definitely on my mind because I'm going to be stressing. And this one, I think I'm going to be stressing a little too because I'm going to take a big chance on the San Jose Sharks here on the puck line at home, laying the 1.5. Now, let me just see what value we're getting on the San Jose Sharks laying the 1.5 because we have seen a little bit of movement here on the money line. So the San Jose Sharks are minus 210 now on the money line. You get them minus 1.5 on that puck line at plus 130. And that is the way I'm going with this one. I look at the San Jose Sharks and what they've been able to do defensively. And this team has actually been picking up steam, really limiting their opponents. And I love what I've seen out of them. It's also a team that keeps fighting and never gives up. So that being said, the Chicago Blackhawks are rolling in here. They've won their last 4. They got the big win on Wednesday versus the Dallas Stars. That was a 4-3 win. They've got the Ducks on deck on Monday. And we have the Sharks off a loss to the Predators on Thursday. That was a 6-2 loss. They got the Montreal Canadiens on deck on Tuesday. Now, this is not a divisional opponent here with the Blackhawks 8th in the Central and the Sharks 7th in the Pacific. You could also look at the Sharks team total over that 3.5. It's coming in at minus 102. The Blackhawks have been allowing these goals in bunches. They're allowing 3.58 goals per game and 33.6 shots on goal. This team is only averaging that 2.49 goals per game. This total of 6.5 is a little questionable because I do think the Sharks produce the goals, but with what I've seen out of the Sharks defense as of late, and not overall on the season because their overall record on the season is not good, but as of late, I do think the Sharks could really limit the Blackhawks in this game tonight. So I'm not going to touch the over, but if you are looking at that over, you've seen the over hit in 9 of the last 13 games. 3 of those have gone under and 1 has pushed. Now, the Blackhawks have struggled versus the San Jose Sharks, especially in San Jose. They've only won 2 of the last 8 meetings in San Jose and only 4 of the last 13 meetings overall. And versus the Pacific, they've struggled as well, only winning 3 of the last 11. So give me the Sharks. Give me the Sharks big on that puck line, laying 1.5 for that beautiful plus 130 money. Whew, you guys, that is all the games. We love that Patrick Kane does not play, Kev. So let's hope Patrick Kane doesn't play. Put this bet in now because if Patrick Kane isn't with the Blackhawks, he's their number 1 player, you guys. Patrick Kane is hands down the best. So we definitely, Kreider, anytime goal. I am so glad that you cashed that with me. I was actually really shocked with all the goals the Washington Capitals put up. Ovechkin didn't come in with that anytime goal either. So we got Kreider though. And any of you that have faith in the Capitals for the full game, congratulations on that one. Avs got in late. Yeah, absolutely. Avs got in late, and that's why my hair is driving me crazy today. Sorry, guys. That's why I definitely see Calgary in that first period, but don't take them for the full game. They might win it. Absolutely might win it. But can they win and sustain that whole game against Colorado? Cale Makar is still out for the Colorado Avalanche as well with a concussion. Let's recap these games. You guys, it's a beautiful Saturday. Thank you so much for joining me for Puck It with Joe. Make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe so you don't miss out on my spontaneous times of doing the show. Now, tomorrow I will be live on Sports Grid between 4 and 8 Eastern. So Puck It will have to come out earlier. I don't know what time yet, But let's recap these games and let's make some freaking money. Bye. Yelling bye to my daughter. She's headed out of the door. She didn't give me a bye back. I don't know why. Let's check on some scores quick here. St. Louis Blues and Pittsburgh Penguins still 0-0 in this game. And really interesting, I got my TV over here. The Pittsburgh Penguins have had 21 shots on goal. St. Louis Blues being limited to only 5 shots on goal in this game. So Penguins are pushing really hard. They're getting these shots. Jordan Binnington doing a fantastic job, already saving 21 shots on goal here for the St. Louis Blues. That is awesome. You know, Jordan Binnington is one of these goalies. He either plays fantastic or not fantastic. There is no in between. So let's recap these games, you guys. We'll kick off with the Boston Bruins. Now, the Boston Bruins game, like I said, they are the dominant team here. They should absolutely get this win. They should cover the puck line. They struggled in Vancouver. So I don't want to hit them here on the puck line. That's the way the game should go. But we all know hockey is like a different animal. There's some weird things that always happen. But I do expect David Pastrnak to come out and have a phenomenal game. He is leading the Boston Bruins in points. We can get him over 1.5 points tonight at plus 148. And I'm getting plus money. I don't need to bet a side or a total. I love David Pastrnak here to have a big game against the Vancouver Canucks defense. It is absolutely struggling. I lean on that over if I had to pick a total, a gun to my head, just because Boston Bruins can put up the goals in plenty, especially against a Canucks terrible defense. And we've seen the Canucks get some goals, so I lean on the over, but I definitely think the best play of that game is David Pastrnak for over 1.5 points at plus 148. The Anaheim Ducks and the Carolina Hurricanes here. The Canes in the first period, I expect them to come out nice and hard. I do expect them to win this game. I don't like laying puck lines of 2.5, expecting them to win by 3 goals against a Ducks team that really does love to play upset. Do I think the Ducks can upset in this one? Nah, I really don't. I'm going to take the Canes in the first period over half a goal. So that's coming in at minus 128 on that puck line. They just have to cover that. It changes these odds so drastically. So for the parlay, I'm going to leave that Boston Bruins one out of it, but I'm going to take the Canes minus 0.5 on the puck line in the first period for the parlay. Now, I do think that one probably squeaks over that total of 6.5 if the Ducks are able to put up their share of the goals. But I'd look at the Canes goals in that one if you really want to play a total. Now, the Senators and the Montreal Canadiens, I think the Senators, I'm going to throw them on the money line for the parlay. But if you're looking for a best bet in this game, I think you take the Sens either in regulation, either in regulation or I love the puck line. I think the Senators come out and get a nice big puck line win here. I'm going to lay the 1.5 at the plus 135 with the Ottawa Senators. Montreal is off a road trip here. They're on the back-to-back. They were in Philly last night. Senators on a back-to-back as well, but they're home after this game. So I'm going to take the Senators big in this one. The Philadelphia Flyers and the New Jersey Devils. I tell you, this could be the weird upset of the day with the Philadelphia Flyers. Urson, I just like what we've seen out of Urson in goal for the Philadelphia Flyers. And now I know the New Jersey Devils are the way better team, but Smid expected, it's a weird name to say, in goal here. He's 5-4 on the season with a 2.24 goals against average. So he doesn't have bad goals against average, but Urson coming in here, 2.56 goals against average, and he's gone undefeated so far this season, 6-0-0. Going to take the Flyers plus the 1.5, and that's what I'm going to throw into the parlay, is the Flyers on that puck line at plus 1.5. I think they can get it done in this game. They've just been absolutely dominating on the road on that puck line, going 21-10. And I do think this one stays under the total. So when I like an under and I lean on that dog to be able to get things done, that puck line just makes sense for me. The Tampa Bay Lightning and the Detroit Red Wings. This could be another upset of the day. The Red Wings could pull it off. This team being so phenomenally strong. They've won the last 3 games over the Lightning, but But the Lightning are off a loss to the Sabres, and I struggle in this situation off that loss. I'm going to take the Detroit Red Wings here. Their team total over 2.5, and that's what I'm going to throw into the parlay. The Red Wings team total over 2.5, because I do think they get 3 goals in this one. Can they pull off the upset? Abso-freaking-lutely. Will they when Tampa's coming in off a loss? That is my fear. I think the over 6.5 is in play in this one as well. The Dallas Stars and the Vegas Golden Knights. Give me Vegas, baby. I want Vegas to get this win at -120. Yes, they are in the Pacific, the same division as my Calgary Flames, but Vegas is my second team. So not a lot of bias here, maybe a little bit of bias, but I do think this is a revenge spot for the Vegas Golden Knights, who absolutely got destroyed the last time Dallas rolled into Vegas. Dallas has dominated this matchup as well. So caution, but I'm not actually going to throw Vegas on the money line into the parlay, but Vegas on the money line at -120 definitely is one of my favorite bets of the day. I think they get things done here. Calgary versus Colorado. Again, I'm going to leave this out of the parlay, but I think Calgary in that first period to come out and get us that win in the first period isn't out of question here. We've seen Colorado traveling. They were just in Winnipeg. They've had to go back to Colorado. I don't know how long that flight is. I wish I could tell you guys, but they had a late game last night, late game tonight. I think travel will wear on this team. Calgary's had the day off, and yes, they are in a 3-4 situation. I'm only asking them to win the first period. So give me Calgary in the first period. They are +194 in the first period over on FanDuel. I'm going to leave it out of the parlay too, but I do love Calgary in the first period. Now, the Chicago Blackhawks and the San Jose Sharks. I'm going to throw the Sharks on the money line into the parlay, but for the best bet in this game, because we can't bet -1 or -210 it is now on the Sharks. I'm going to take the Sharks on the puck line at -1.5 at plus, what was that? +130 now on those odds. Yeah, +130 for the puck line on the San Jose Sharks. I think they get a huge, big win here at home over the Chicago Blackhawks. And like you guys said, Patrick Kane might not be playing tonight. Please, please, please keep your fingers crossed that Patrick Kane does not play tonight. Be so interesting to see where he goes. Rangers, Oilers, like those are the top 2, I think, between them. I hope he goes to the Rangers. The Rangers just completely stacking their team at the moment. So watch out for that, you guys. Sharks team total over 3.5 is something to look at as well. Peter Moretz expected in goal here for the Chicago Blackhawks, and this defense has been absolutely crumbling on the season. The Sharks defense, though, has been playing strong, so I struggle with taking the full game over that total, because we could see a game where the Sharks just shut down the Blackhawks in this one. So the recap of the parlay is the Canes in the first period on the puck line, the Senators here on the money line, the Flyers on the puck line at +1.5, the Red Wings team total over 2.5, and the Sharks on the money line. Like I said, I love the Sharks here on the puck line. I love Vegas here on the money line. I love Calgary in the first period. The Red Wings team total over 2.5. I really want to back the Red Wings at home. And I also do think the Flyers plus the 1.5 is such a strong way to go. This team just killer on that puck line, especially on the road. The Sens big day as well. I think they can get it done on the puck line. I also think Carolina in that first period. So you guys, I want to thank you guys so much for joining me here for Pocket with Joe. It's because of you guys this show goes on every day. If you guys were not here, we would not have this show. Imagine if Boston got Kane. Oh my God, that would actually be, that'd be phenomenal. I love what I've seen out of the Boston Bruins so far this season. Let's smash the bookies. You are so right. You guys, again, I appreciate each and every one of you. And I want to wish you a happy weekend. We're still scoreless in the Pittsburgh Penguins and the St. Louis Blues game. So this is going to be an interesting one. Let's just look at quick live lines for this, you guys, and make sure you do tune in tomorrow on Sports Grid. We're always keeping track of these live lines and giving out those live bets you can get. Now, with this one sitting 0-0, this total has dropped to 4.5 in this game, hitting it over the 4.5, though we're not getting value at -174, the under at +136. if you think the Penguins pull this one off, they are now minus 138 on that money line. They did open as a minus 156 money line favorite here on the road. Sorry, just looking. Something just happened. I thought maybe the Blues just scored on Jari, but they haven't. Pittsburgh still 22 shots on goal. St. Louis Blues only 6 shots on goal. St. Louis not able to get past Pittsburgh's defense that does normally allow 34.2 shots on goal per game. So really interesting. It'll be interesting to see those adjustments made at intermission between these periods. You guys have a good one. XFL tonight, Anthony, I will be putting out a video on the XFL right after this. Man, there's lots of videos up. I have my quick picks up. I have my Cup of Joe up. NBA for the Cup of Joe, college basketball for the quick picks, and I will have an XFL quick pick video coming out after this. Give me 30 minutes and you guys will have a great day, everyone. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Let's make some freaking money today. It feels like a really good Saturday. Again, join me tomorrow on Sports Grid 4 to 8 and for another pocket. I just don't know what time. So hit that subscribe button, you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. We'll see you soon. Bye, guys.